It's the bombshell little people big world fans never thought they'd hear. After years of speculation, the identity of Chris Marek's ex-wife has finally been confirmed. And the truth? It's stirring up far more questions than answers. But that's not the only headline shaking the Roloff universe this week. Amy Roloff's beloved property has officially been sold for a jaw-dropping $2.1 million. The big question is, why now? Who's the mysterious buyer, and what does this mean for the Roloff family dynamic moving forward? And then there's the cryptic phrase that's got fans talking: get lost. Was it just a harmless comment, or a thinly veiled jab during a tense family moment? Could this signal deeper cracks in relationships both on and off the screen? In this deep dive, we'll unravel the full story, from Chris Marek's hidden past to Amy's multi-million-dollar real estate deal, plus the behind-the-scenes whispers about what might have triggered such a blunt message. You're about to hear the insider gossip and connections that haven't made it to the tabloids yet until now. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The revelation about Chris Marek's ex-wife has taken the little people, big world fanbase by storm. For years, Chris has been portrayed as Amy Roloff's rock, her calm, steady, and dependable second husband who came into her life after the end of her decades-long marriage to Matt Roloff. But now, fans are learning that Chris's life before Amy was far from the open book many believed. The news of his ex-wife's identity has peeled back the curtain on a chapter of his life that's been quietly kept in the shadows until now. Chris Marek before Amy. Long before Chris stepped into the TLC spotlight, he had carved out a name for himself in Oregon's real estate scene. Born and raised in the Pacific Northwest, Chris developed a reputation for being charming, approachable, and driven. He had a love for outdoor adventures, from motorcycle rides along winding coastal highways to long weekends exploring the mountains. But behind that friendly smile, Chris also had a history of relationships that, until now, remained strictly private. The ex-wife's identity. The woman at the center of this new revelation isn't just a mystery figure from Chris's past. She's someone who, in her own way, was once part of his public image. Chris's ex-wife, identified by sources close to the situation, is reportedly a successful businesswoman in her own right, known for her work in community development and charity events. Described as outgoing and socially connected, she moved easily in the same circles as Chris. Their shared love for networking, outdoor living, and travel brought them together. She was elegant, articulate, and, in the eyes of some fans now, eerily similar to Amy in certain ways. Marriage and divorce timeline. Chris and his ex-wife first crossed paths in the early 2000s at a local charity fundraiser. What started as a professional acquaintance quickly turned personal, and within a year, the two were married. Friends recall that the wedding was intimate but lively, reflecting both their easygoing personalities. However, as the years passed, cracks began to show. While they shared many interests, their career paths demanded more and more of their time. Chris's growing passion for real estate investments often clashed with his ex-wife's commitments in her own professional field. By the mid-2000s, the relationship had quietly unraveled, and the couple filed for divorce without much public notice. Was Chris married more than once? This is where things take an even more intriguing turn. Some insiders claim that Chris may have had two significant marriages before Amy, though only one was legally binding. Reports suggest that before meeting his now-confirmed ex-wife, Chris was deeply involved in a long-term relationship that felt like a marriage to those who knew him, complete with shared property and a nearly decade-long commitment. While there's no official record of that union being recognized legally, the emotional weight of that breakup reportedly shaped how Chris approached love and relationships going forward. Impact on Amy Roloff. For Amy, learning more about Chris's past may be bittersweet. While it's natural for a partner to have a history, the public nature of this revelation puts her in a tricky spot, especially as a reality TV star whose life has been dissected by fans for over 18 years. The inevitable comparisons between Amy and Chris's ex-wife have already begun. Social media is flooded with side-by-side photos, personality breakdowns, and speculation about how Amy measures up. Some fans say this new detail makes Chris more relatable, while others wonder if Amy knew everything before tying the knot. The LPBW fanbase is split. On one side, there are those who see this as a harmless detail from Chris's past, something most adults have. On the other, there are fans treating it like a potential bombshell that could cause tension in his marriage to Amy. She looks just like Amy, but taller. One fan commented under a now viral Reddit post. Others have noted that both women share similar values and lifestyles, suggesting Chris has a clear type. Meanwhile, a smaller but louder group speculates that this past marriage might resurface as a storyline in upcoming episodes because, as any seasoned reality TV watcher knows, no drama ever really stays buried forever. The news hit like a thunderclap in the Little People, Big World fan community. Amy Roloff's beloved property, a place steeped in both family history and personal memories, has officially been sold for a staggering $2.1 million. This isn't just any property. For years, the land was intertwined with the Roloff family's legacy. Countless birthdays, holiday gatherings, and quiet, everyday moments unfolded here. Located in a picturesque part of Oregon, the home wasn't just a house. It was a chapter in the Roloff family story. Fans remember seeing it often on TLC, with its rustic charm, sprawling gardens, and spaces that reflected Amy's personality to the core. So, why sell now? Sources close to Amy suggest it was a combination of practical and emotional factors. On the one hand, maintaining such a large property on her own had become increasingly demanding physically, financially, and logistically. On the other, Amy has been working towards simplifying her life since her marriage to Marek, preferring to focus on new adventures rather than holding on to an estate that requires constant upkeep. There are whispers of deeper, more personal motivations as well. The idea of truly closing a chapter with the Roloff farm era and stepping fully into her new life with Chris. The buyer's identity has sparked endless speculation. While official records list the purchaser as a private party, rumors swirl about whether this person could have ties to the Roloff family, a real estate developer eyeing the land for a project, or even a wealthy fan of the show eager to own a piece of reality TV history. No confirmation yet, but the mystery has only fueled online discussion. The sale inevitably raises questions about Amy's next move. Where will she settle now? Reports suggest she and Chris already have a more manageable property that suits their current lifestyle, with space for family visits, but none of the overwhelming demands of a large rural estate. Downsizing might also mean more flexibility for travel and spending quality time with loved ones without being tied down by maintenance issues. Reactions from family and fans have been mixed. Some applaud Amy for taking a practical step forward, noting that letting go of physical property can be freeing. Others see the sale as bittersweet, a loss of a tangible link to the Roloff family legacy. Social media has been buzzing with nostalgic posts, old photos, and heartfelt comments about what the property meant to viewers who followed the family's journey for nearly 2 decades. Financially, the $2.1 million price tag marks a significant boost to Amy's security. Even after taxes and fees, the sale leaves her in a comfortable position, providing a safety net for retirement, future investments, and the freedom to pursue projects or causes she's passionate about. Some insiders suggest part of the proceeds may be used for travel plans with Chris, home improvements, and setting aside funds for her children and grandchildren. In the end, while the sale might feel like the end of an era, it could also be the start of an exciting new chapter for Amy Roloff, one not defined by the walls of a house, but by the experiences she chooses to create moving forward. From minute 35 to 50, we dive straight into one of the most talked about and puzzling moments in recent Roloff family chatter, the mysterious get lost incident. The phrase, simple yet loaded, has sparked countless theories among fans, each trying to piece together exactly where and when it was said, and most importantly, why. According to circulating reports and fan speculation, the phrase may have been exchanged during a heated, off-camera conversation that later spilled into the public eye. Some claim it happened in person at a private Roloff family gathering, while others suggest it originated online as part of a sharp clapback in the comments section of an Instagram post. Either way, it wasn't just a throwaway remark. It was pointed, emotional, and immediately linked to ongoing tensions within the family. The big question remains, who actually said it? Many followers believe it came from Amy Roloff herself, possibly directed toward Matt or Karen during a dispute about the farm or family decisions. Others think it could have been Marek defending Amy, telling one of the Roloffs, maybe even Zach, to back off during a disagreement. There's also a smaller but persistent theory that it was Matt firing the phrase toward Amy or Chris after feeling undermined in a discussion. The truth, so far, has remained just out of reach, which only fuels the fire of speculation. This isn't just an isolated spat either. The get lost moment ties directly into the long-running undercurrent of strained relationships within the Roloff clan, especially between Amy and Matt, and by extension, their respective partners. Ever since the Roloff farm's negotiations fell apart, family gatherings have been a delicate balance of politeness and lingering resentment. One sharp comment in the wrong context can easily ignite a bigger blow-up, and this phrase seems to be the latest spark. Fans have been scouring social media for clues. There were cryptic Instagram stories from both Amy and Matt's sides in the days following the rumored exchange. Subtle references to moving on and focusing on what matters appeared, along with carefully liked posts from friends and followers who seemed to be taking sides. Even more suspicious were the handful of comments that were liked and then unliked or deleted entirely, hinting that someone might have regretted letting their emotions slip out in public. Public opinion is sharply divided. Some see the get lost remark as a justified expression of pent-up frustration, especially if it was aimed at shutting down hurtful or overbearing behavior. Others find it unnecessarily disrespectful, especially within a family dynamic that's already on rocky ground. On platforms like Reddit and Facebook fan groups, heated debates have broken out, with some applauding the blunt honesty and others condemning it as a petty dig. For TLC producers, moments like this are pure gold. If the exchange was caught on camera or can be worked into a storyline, it could be a key highlight in upcoming Little People, Big World episodes. The network thrives on these real-life tensions. They offer drama, emotional stakes, and the kind of raw authenticity that keeps viewers hooked. Even if the moment wasn't filmed, it could be rehashed in confessionals, with each family member giving their own version of events. That alone could set the tone for the rest of the season. When it comes to Little People, Big World, TLC has a long history of taking real-life events and weaving them into compelling, often emotional, storylines. With the recent revelations, Marek's ex-wife coming to light, Amy Roloff's $2.1 million property sale, and the mysterious Get Lost drama, producers have more than enough raw material to keep fans glued to their screens. Insiders say TLC is likely to frame these events for maximum dramatic tension. That could mean editing conversations to heighten emotional stakes, using dramatic music cues, and splicing together reactions that weren't necessarily filmed at the same time to create a more intense narrative arc. Viewers have seen this before. Small disagreements ballooned into season-long storylines thanks to clever editing and strategic storytelling. One of the most tantalizing possibilities? Chris's ex-wife making an appearance. While there's no official confirmation, producers know that introducing someone from a main cast member's past is reality TV gold. Even if she doesn't appear on camera, fans could see her influence hinted at through conversations, confessionals, or third-party accounts from friends and family. This would not only add depth to Chris's backstory, but could also stir up insecurities, curiosity, or even tension between him and Amy. Amy's $2.1 million property sale is another storyline producers are likely to spotlight. Beyond the financial aspect, there's an emotional core, saying goodbye to a piece of land tied to decades of family memories. TLC might intercut old footage of the property from happier times with current interviews, subtly reminding viewers of what's being lost. They may also use this sale as a narrative bridge to explore Amy's next chapter, perhaps a move, a lifestyle change, or even fresh tensions if family members disagree with her decisions. As for predictions on family relationships, the future feels like a mix of reconciliation and deepening divides. On one hand, major life changes like property sales and personal revelations can bring family members closer as they rally around each other. On the other, These same events often expose old wounds. If the Get Lost incident is indeed tied to simmering tensions between Amy, Chris, Matt, or others, producers could use it as a season-long undercurrent, a subtle reminder that peace in the Roloff family is always fragile. Ultimately, TLC has a knack for balancing heartfelt moments with just enough drama to keep fans debating long after the credits roll. The question isn't whether these events will make it onto the show, it's how much they'll be amplified, and whether the real-life fallout will match the on-screen fireworks. In the span of just one episode's worth of updates, we've seen the Roloff family story take some remarkable and undeniably dramatic turns. Chris Marek's ex-wife revelation added a whole new layer of intrigue to his and Amy's relationship, leaving fans curious about how this piece of his past might shape their future together. Then came the major property news: Amy's decision to sell her home for a staggering $2.1 million, marking not just a financial move, but an emotional step away from a place filled with personal history and Roloff family memories. And of course, we can't ignore the Get Lost drama, a moment that has sparked intense debate over who said it, why it was said, and whether it was just heat-of-the-moment frustration or a sign of deeper tensions simmering beneath the surface. These three storylines together highlight what's become the norm in the Roloff universe. Change is constant, relationships are evolving, and every twist is layered with both personal and public consequences. Looking ahead, fans will be watching closely to see if Chris's past becomes a bigger plot point, how Amy adjusts to life after selling her property, and whether the Get Lost incident lingers or gets smoothed over. With the Roloffs, the next chapter is always just around the corner, and rarely without a surprise. Just when you thought the Roloff family drama couldn't get any more explosive, think again. 3 bombshells have just dropped in the Little People, Big World universe, and each one has fans buzzing. First, after years of speculation, Chris Marek's ex-wife has finally been revealed. The truth behind their history? Let's just say it's raising eyebrows and sparking some major comparisons. Second, Amy Roloff's beloved property, a place packed with memories and deep family history, has been sold for a staggering $2.1 million. But why now? And more importantly, who's the mysterious buyer? And third, a simple 2-word phrase, Get Lost, has ignited a full-blown storm of speculation. Was it harmless teasing, or a pointed jab that could deepen existing family rifts? Over the next 60 minutes, we're unpacking it all. The whispers behind the scenes, the most convincing fan theories, and the ripple effects these events could have on the Roloff legacy moving forward. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready, because this is one story that's about to get intense. Over the years, Chris has kept his private life remarkably guarded, a trait that set him apart from many other figures in the Little People, Big World universe. That's why this revelation about his previous marriage has caused such a stir. It peels back a layer that fans never expected to see. The woman at the center of this newfound attention reportedly lived a quiet life, steering clear of social media and rarely appearing at public functions with Chris during their time together. Those who knew the couple say their relationship started off with a spark, meeting through mutual friends at a community event. They bonded over their shared love of the outdoors, weekend road trips, and a mutual desire to keep life simple. For a while, it seemed like the perfect fit. But as the years passed, subtle differences began to surface. Chris, ever the social and adventurous spirit, craved more travel, more activity, and a slightly larger circle of friends. His ex-wife, on the other hand, leaned toward stability and routine. Eventually, those differences became too large to ignore. When the marriage ended, it was reportedly amicable, no messy court battles, no scandalous headlines, just 2 people recognizing they were headed in different directions. Chris relocated, threw himself into his real estate career, and gradually built a new life. That path, of course, would eventually lead him straight to Amy Roloff. For Amy, the knowledge of Chris's past seems to have been more of a conversation point than a stumbling block. She's openly acknowledged in interviews that everyone comes into a relationship with their own history. Her philosophy is simple. It's not about who came before, but about the life and love being built now. She's even joked that her own past, namely her decades-long marriage to Matt Roloff, gives her a pretty good understanding of how to handle the emotional complexities that come with blended life stories. Fans, meanwhile, have been split in their reactions. Some have embraced the news as simply another piece of Chris's backstory, a humanizing detail that rounds out his character. Others, however, have been quick to compare the ex-wife to Amy, analyzing everything from appearance and style to public persona. Social media threads have buzzed with speculation, with a few voices even suggesting that the ex-wife could, one day, make an appearance on the TLC show, whether by choice or by circumstance. One fan on a popular LPBW forum put it bluntly, "If the producers get wind of this, you can bet they'll find a way to work her into a storyline." TLC loves a good plot twist. Another countered, "Leave the woman alone." Not everyone wants to be a reality TV star, especially if they walked away from the limelight once already. While no concrete evidence suggests the ex-wife will ever step into the public eye, the very idea of her involvement has set imaginations running wild. And if TLC's history with drama is any indicator, it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that her name could resurface in a future season, perhaps not as a central figure, but as a piece of the puzzle that adds new layers to Chris and Amy's ongoing story. So there you have it, Chris Marek's mysterious ex-wife finally brought into the spotlight, Amy Roloff's $2.1 million property sale closing the door on a chapter of family history, and the get lost moment that has fans firmly divided. These aren't just headlines. They're turning points that could reshape relationships, storylines, and the very future of Little People, Big World. After nearly 2 decades on air, the Roloff family continues to prove they're as unpredictable and compelling as ever. And if history has taught us anything, it's that where there's one big revelation, another is never far behind.